Right, okay Jack, we're going to talk about your trilogy. We're going to try to talk about your trilogy reasonably concisely if we can. We've got 3 books, 3 novels. Nights with Giordano Bruno, the first one in the trilogy, which was published in 2000. And then we've got The Imaginary Museum of Atlantis. We'll see how thick each one is. You can see that's the thinner. And then to compensate for that, you had the emo elephant sized volume. When was that one published?
It was 2006.
And that one's 2008?
Yeah.
Okay. There was a bit of time between this one and that one. It's quite interesting. But you were working on other things, I guess, while you were...
Yes, also it was between publishers because this one came out through Bumper Books, Alan Brunton's publishing firm, but he died a couple of years later, and so finding somebody who was similarly hospitable to Maverick text experiments took a couple of years. Yeah, but
so you'd actually written this?
I'd written it before 2006, but it did take longer to write than the other ones and longer to focus. So
when you wrote the Bruno one, did you know it was going to be a trilogy?
Well, after I'd finished it, I saw the possibility of a sequel or another book along similar lines. And I did write a book along similar lines, but it wasn't very satisfactory, and so that book never actually came out in its original form, but bits of it survive in short stories and also in my novella, which came out 2005, but which was written way before, so that was more or less part of the process.
What's the novella called?
Trouble in Mind.
Yeah. Trouble in Mind is an interesting theme in the trilogy.
Yeah, well, I sort of thought, well, actually with the novella I could kind of condense a lot of ideas in the books in a simpler form, but that seemed to get on people's nerves even more than the longer, more extended meditations on these ideas. So,
what gets on people's nerves?
well, they don't like mixing up levels of material, you know, high culture, low culture.
Do people really say that to you in so many words? Jack, I don't like what you're doing. You're mixing up high culture and low culture, and I don't like that.
No, what they say to me is, it's just pornography, isn't it? You've got a filthy mind. Which is true, of course, but it just sort of seems to me that should be the start of the train of thought, not the end of the train of thought. Actually, people exaggerate that aspect of them, but it's certainly present, and there's reasons why it's present, but it is to some extent a mask and a distraction from what I really think I'm up to.